All right, taking a full look at weather, Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. It is kind of sad when you drive by and you just see the feathers sticking out of the ground.
Oh, yeah. It's always seagull carnage, I swear.
Yeah,
I've seen some things, and I just don't even want to repeat it. Just some of the carnage.
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
feel bad.
It's bad. You know, it's the circle of life, though, I guess, right?
And
minus vehicles.
Nobody.
Well, minus vehicles, anyway, being a part of that. Let's take a live look from Domenico's on the wharf. You want to sing Circle of Life if you're going to go out and do some karaoke tonight? Well, it might be a good night to stay indoors.
I think Nacho Business has karaoke.
Oh, there you go. Something about that nacho place. We've been talking about that all night. I guess we're getting nachos for dinner. We can eat nachos for dinner, right? It's not just nachos. It's not just a snack. It's a catchphrase. You can use it if you want. You don't have to pay me anything. But otherwise, a little bit foggy out there this evening in Monterey. Things are getting off the rails here. We're going to try and wind it back in here so we can get into that forecast for you. Let's start with looking at our bigger picture. High pressure, our big monsoonal high sitting over the desert southwest. It is pumping up some moisture. We see thunderstorms coming out of the Great Basin into Utah, northwestern Colorado, Wyoming tonight, and up onto the prairie provinces of Canada. Looks like up into Manitoba, some thunderstorms right now. Looking off to our northwest, though, we do have the distinct counterclockwise swirl of low pressure. So we are stuck between basically two large weather patterns right now. We've got a trough off to the northwest right here, and then the ridge of high pressure to the south and east. And that's where we're going to stay for the next week or so. Now, these systems will kind of do a little dance, move a little bit this way, a little bit that way, a little bit of this, and then here again, and then back here again. These are the moves. Make sure you're writing these down because you're going to be tested later. It's like that. So very graceful looking dance. Either way, the minor perturbations, I said I wasn't going to say that word again last night. Here it goes. Minor perturbations in these large-scale weather systems will have impacts on our weather, sending our temperatures up and down a little bit. So we're down a little bit today. We're cooler, cloudier. The marine layer is a little bit deeper. Looks like temperatures are going to head back up a little bit as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which you're seeing kind of right here as the ridge pushes back. And then the troughing gets a little bit stronger out of the weekend. And we'll notice this Monday and Tuesday, especially, the ridge kind of backs off a little bit. The colors lighten up a little bit here, which means we're going to see some cooler conditions. Now, this weather pattern, pretty common for this time of year. We typically have the big monsoonal high sitting over the desert southwest. And I saw this graphic on Twitter a couple days ago or yesterday. And I wanted to share it with you because this graphic is showing if everything is normal, like during a normal year, when do locations across the U.S. see their hottest day of the year. Now, it might be hard to see the scale on the bottom here, but these lighter colors, like you're seeing here in Arizona and New Mexico, mean that typically the hottest day is earlier in the year, June, early July. And the reason is that's because that's before the monsoon moisture arrives. So it's usually really hot in Arizona and New Mexico. And once the moisture arrives, that kind of cuts down on temperatures. You have more clouds, you have thunderstorms. So into late July and August, you're cooler in those locations. It's a little bit different this year because that ridge is pretty strong. But notice right along the coast here of California, even up into the Pacific Northwest, that our colors are more red. We're talking late August, early September, in some cases even later. And the reason for that is because, well, there's two reasons. The ocean temperature continues to rise throughout the summertime, and the ocean is the bigger influence for coastal cities on how warm the air is over us. So we'll continue to see that rise into later portions of August and September before it starts to cool off through the fall. On top of that, in the fall, we're more likely to see offshore winds as the weather patterns become a little more progressive, and offshore winds tend to push warm air back toward the coast. So coastal areas typically see their warmest days late in the year. Just thought it was an interesting graphic to share with you. Hopefully you gleaned some information off it. But a little cool and cloudy on the coast again tomorrow. As we look at futurecast overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up to low clouds around the bay and into those interior valleys. Patchy fog will be possible. Could even see some drizzle on the south and east sides of the bay overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Coming out of the morning commute into the afternoon, we will start to see some clearing in Santa Cruz tomorrow. But like today, we're going to hold on to those low clouds on the south and east shores of the bay. Should be very similar cloud coverage tomorrow to what we saw today. Maybe a few thin high clouds passing through. That's about it. Tomorrow evening, the clouds fill back in. Winds will be out of the northwest, but swirl back up towards Santa Cruz as well. Highs expected in Santa Cruz and Capitola, still in the low 70s, so still looking at beautiful weather for otter spotting up into the mountains. We're still seeing some 80s, but maybe not quite as as hot as those 90s we've seen in recent days. Watsonville still in the 70s tomorrow. 69 in Salinas, mid 80s in Hollister, and still right around 90 in our northern valley there. And then back to the coast where we see clouds, we'll see highs remaining in the 60s. Monterey Peninsula, highs in the upper 50s. Pebble Beach still pretty chilly, mid 60s in Monterey and Seaside. And then down south, we do have a couple spots still in the triple digits, but our more populated valleys are going to stay in the 70s and the 80s. So let's look at that 7-day forecast. And as I mentioned, some ups and downs in temperatures. We will see temperatures heading back up as we head into Friday and Saturday. That should be the warmer day on the coast Saturday, and then cooling back down into next week with below normal temperatures expected out of the weekend. So Saturday looking even warmer. I've bumped those temps up a bit. Inland areas also heading back up. Temperatures peaking on Saturday. Inland temps are trending warmer for Sunday as well, something I'm watching, but it looks like they will abruptly fall next week to below normal levels. So a little relief for that inland heat. Back to you.
All right, sounds good. Happy for the relief.